Hello and welcome back to Learn Penang Hokkien. My name is Timothy and you're watching a series of videos created to help you learn the dialect of Hokkien as spoken in Penang and the northern part of West Malaysia. We are now in lesson 15. And in lesson 15, we continue our lesson on auxiliary verbs. So, lesson 15 is the second part of the lesson on auxiliary verbs. In our previous lesson, which was lesson 14, we learned the following auxiliary verbs. I, my, suka, u, bo, boy, tio, tio boy, and gian. I, my, suka, u, bo, boy, tio, tio boy, and gian. In this lesson, we continue with another selection of auxiliary verbs, and they are a, be, esai, besai, ehiao, behiao, eki, beki, engkai, mtang, mang, and mian. Okay, the majority of them are almost the same because they are all a something, but there are a few which are different. And without further ado, let's go straight into our lesson, and that begins when I come back. Hello and welcome back to Learn Penang Hokkien Lesson 15, the second part of our lesson on auxiliary verbs. And let's begin with the first one, which is A. A can be spelled as E33 as well as AY33. Why these two? Because E33 is more phonetically precise, but AY33 is more familiar with local speakers. And so, as a compromise, we accommodate and we accept both. So you can see A spelled as E33 and as well as AY33. And all its derivatives you also will see as E33 and AY33. So what's the meaning of A? A means able to. Okay, A means able to or can. For example, jiao e bui. Jiao e bui means bird can fly. So bird is jiao and fly is bui. Jiao e bui, bird can fly. My new car can go very fast. My new car, what is xin chia? Go very fast is zhao kuai kuai. Zhao kuai kuai. Or simply zhao. Zhao is to run. But when you use it with car, it becomes to go very fast. So, my new car can go very fast is what is xin chia is zhao kuai kuai. Or what is xin chia is zhao. My new car can go very fast. What is xin chia is zhao. So, A means able to. The opposite of A is be. Be is spelled as BE33 as well as BAY33. So, we have just learned A. A means able to. So, be means unable to. Unable to do something means be. For example, Gao bei bui, dogs can't fly. Gao bei bui. Just now we learned jiao e bui, bird can fly. Jiao e bui tapi gao bei. Birds can fly but dogs cannot. So, be means unable to. The next one is esai. Esai means permitted to. Lu esai jip lai. You are permitted to come in. So you can say as can. You can come in. You can come in. But to be clearer is to be permitted to. So, 碌會使接嚟 you can come in. 碌會使接嚟了 you are permitted to come in already. So, 會使 is to be permitted to. 被使 on the other hand means not permitted to or forbidden from. So, if you use 被使 it means to not be permitted to or you are forbidden from. 碌被使接嚟 you are not allowed to come in. You are not permitted to come in. So, not allowed to as well as not permitted to is 被使. 碌被使講話 you are not permitted to talk. 碌被使講話 碌被使講話 you are not permitted to talk. 碌被使食 go. Go, you have learned before, is yet. So, 碌被使食 go means you are not permitted to eat yet. You are not permitted to eat yet. 碌被使食 go. The next auxiliary verb is 會曉. 會曉 means to know how to do something. To know how to do something is 會曉. 我會曉講 Hokkien 話. I know how to speak Hokkien. Hokkien here is Hokkien 話, literally Hokkien language. 我會曉講 Hokkien 話. 我會曉游水. I know how to swim. 游水 is to swim. So, 會曉 is to know how to. 我會曉游水. So, the opposite of 會曉 is, you can almost guess, yes, it's 袂曉. So, 袂曉means to not know how to do something. 袂曉. 我袂曉安怎做. I do not know how to do. So, 安怎 we have learned before in question words is how to, and then 做 is do. 我袂曉安怎做. 我袂曉安怎做 or 我袂曉安怎做 means I do not know how to do. 我袂曉講功夫話. 我袂曉講功夫話. I do not know how to speak Cantonese. 我袂曉講客話. I do not know how to speak Hakka. On the other hand, 我會曉講紅毛話. 我會曉講紅毛話. I know how to speak English. So, English is 紅毛話. Hakka language is 客話. And Cantonese is 功夫話. And Mandarin is 華語. We can say 華語. 我袂曉講華語 means I do not know how to speak Mandarin. Jepuna wa ni? How about Japanese? 我pun袂曉講 Jepuna wa. I also do not know how to speak Japanese. 我pun袂曉講 Jepuna wa. So, Jepuna wa is Japanese. So, we have just learned be, esai, besai, ehiao, and behiao. The next one is eki. Eki means to remember. Lu eki lai, huh? So, if you say lu eki lai, huh, means you must remember to come, okay? I don't put the word must here, but must is understood. So, it is more like you remember to come, okay? Lu eki lai, huh? Eki is to remember. Ilang eki gia lui lai. Ilang eki gia lui lai. They remember to bring the money. So, gia is to bring, lui is money. Ilang eki gia lui lai. They remember to bring the money. So, beki is to forget. Ilang beki cho công khô. Công khô is homework. Ilang beki cho công khô. They forgot to do their homework. The next one that we are going to learn is 應該. 應該 means ought to. Ought to. You ought to come early. 你應該來早早. 你應該來早早. You ought to come early. You ought to do the work. 你應該做那個工. 工 is work. 你應該做那個工. You ought to do the work. You ought to finish eating it. 你應該食個了. 食個了. Eat until finish, literally. So, eat is 食個了 is until finish. So, you ought to finish the food is 你應該食個了. So, 應該 is ought to. The next one is 唔通. 唔通 means don't. Do not do something. 唔通入來 don't come in. 唔通入來 don't come in. 唔通食這個物件 don't eat this thing. 唔通食這個物件 don't eat this thing. 唔通講話 don't talk. So 唔通 is to not permitted to do something. 唔通 is very much like 袂使. 袂使 is not allowed. 袂使 is not allowed, whereas 唔通 is don't. So it is more or less the same, but not exactly the same. Of course, you can use either one of them in sentences. 袂使食這個物件 means you are not allowed to eat this thing. Whereas if you say 唔通食這個物件 means don't eat this thing. And in addition to 唔通, there's a shorter form which is mang. Mang is the same as 唔通. Mang入來 don't come in. Mang 食 don't eat. Mang 講話 don't talk. So mang and 唔通 are the same. 唔通 is don't. Mang is also don't. Whereas 袂使 is not allowed to. 會使 is allowed to. And finally, the final auxiliary verb is mian. Mian is don't have to. Not don't allow to, but don't have to. 你免來 you don't have to come. So if you say 你免來 means you have the option of choosing. Whereas if you say 你袂使來 means you are not allowed to come. 你袂使入來 means you are not allowed to come in. 你免入來 means you don't have to come in. 你唔通入來 means you don't come in. 你茫入來 means you don't come in. Whereas 你免入來 means you don't have to come in. So, understand the differences between 唔通 and 茫 versus 免. So, 唔通 is don't, whereas 免 is don't have to. 你免教伊的 You don't have to teach him. You don't have to teach him. 你免教 is to teach. A is just a particle to emphasize it. So, 你免教伊的 You don't have to teach him. So that concludes our lesson portion of this video. When I come back, we are going to do some exercises. So see you in a bit. Hello and welcome back to Learn Penang Hokkien Lesson 15, the second part of our lesson on auxiliary verbs. We are now in the exercise portion of the video, and I'm going to give you some sentences in English for you to translate into Penang Hokkien. You are going to use auxiliary verbs in order to translate those sentences, and this will give you some practice in how to use the auxiliary verbs that you learned today. There's only 10 sentences for you in this lesson, and so it's going to be quite easy if you have learned what I taught you shortly a short while ago. And if you forgot what you have learned, you can always rewind this video and listen to all the sentences and examples once again. So, without further ado, let's go to the first sentence. The first sentence is, my father can speak English. My father can speak English. How to say that in Penang Hokkien? My father can speak English. And the answer, Wa e papa e hiao kong ang mo wa. Wa e papa e hiao kong ang mo wa. Wa e papa e hiao kong ang mo wa. Sentence number 2 is, she knows how to cook. She knows how to cook. Translate that into Penang Hokkien. Cook is chu jia. Cook is chu jia. And the answer, y e hiao chu jia. Y e hiao chu jia. Y e hiao chu jia. Sentence number 3. I forgot to do my homework. I forgot to do my homework. Homework is gong ko. My homework wa e gong ko. So translate the whole sentence into Penang Hokkien. And the answer, wa beki cho wa e gong ko. Wa beki cho wa e gong ko. Wa beki cho wa e gong ko. Sentence number 4. You don't have to come. You don't have to come. And the answer, lu mian lai. Lu mian lai. You can also say lu mian tiok lai. Lu mian tiok lai. Yes, you can add the word tiok into it. The tiok we have learned as an auxiliary verb in the previous lesson, in lesson 14. You can add it in, so you can also say lu mian tiok lai or lu mian lai. Sentence number 5 is, he remembers to bring money. He remembers to bring money. To bring money is gia lui lai. Gia is to bring, money is lui, and then lai is like over, come. So gia lui lai is to bring money. He remembers to bring money. And the answer, y eki gia lui lai. Y eki gia lui lai. He remembers to bring money. Sentence number 6 is, don't forget to come. Don't forget to come. Don't forget to come. And the answer, thang beki lai. Thang beki lai. Thang beki lai. Don't forget to come. Sentence number 7 is, he ought to know how to speak Hokkien. He ought to know how to speak Hokkien. Now, translate that into Penang Hokkien. He ought to know how to speak Hokkien. And the answer, y應該會曉講福建話. 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 Sentence number 8. Don't let him know. Don't let him know. Let him know is ho i chai. Ho i chai is let him know. So don't let him know. Thang ho i chai or mang ho y chai. Thang ho y chai, mang ho y chai. Don't let him know. Sentence number 9 is, he doesn't know how to answer. He doesn't know how to answer. Answer is tak. Tak is answer. And the answer, y bê hiao an chua tak. Y bê hiao an chua tak. Y bê hiao an chua tak. Or you can also say y bê hiao an chua tak. You can sunday the word bê hiao into bê hiao. So y bê hiao an chua tak. Y bê hiao an chua tak. Y bê hiao an chua tak. And the final sentence in our exercise is, tigers can't fly. Tigers can't fly. Tiger is lao ho. Lao ho, or simply ho, is tigers. Tiger. And the answer is lao ho be pui. Lao ho be pui. And so that concludes lesson number 15, the second part of our lesson on auxiliary verbs. I hope you learned something from this lesson, and if you enjoy watching it, please take a moment to give this video a like so that YouTube will share it to more people. Subscribe to the Learn Penang Hokkien YouTube channel and click the notification bell to be informed every time I put up a new video. Until we meet again, thanks for watching.